Good morning. You're watching the morning news on CNN News 18. I am Aisha Varma. It's almost 10 a.m. and we have some breaking news coming in for you right now. All right, so the Bengal recruitment scam explodes. The CBI has held Prasanna Roy, a relative of Partha Chatterjee. Now, the CBI suspects that Prasanna acted as a middleman for illegal recruitments in schools, and a large number of assets owned by the suspect have been identified already. These include land documents as well. Now, Roy allegedly owns hotels and resorts in Digha, Puri and the Sundarbans, as well as some other areas and allegedly even in Dubai. Now, significant plots of land are also allegedly owned by Roy in Newtown, Kolkata and elsewhere. Now, essentially, this is the latest information that we're bringing for you right now. This is in connection with the SSC recruitment scam. And essentially, Prasanna Roy is a relative of Partha Chatterjee, who is currently being held and questioned in connection with the SSC recruitment scam. Now, this is another angle that is emerging where his relative is also involved in this. And the CBI suspects that Prasanna Roy, who we're focusing on right now, acted as a middleman for illegal recruitment in schools. Now, beyond this, a large number of assets owned by the suspect have been identified. Now, essentially, what's also important for you to know is that Prasanna Roy has been held. The CBI has arrested Prasanna Roy, and they're saying that he acted as a middleman in this recruitment scam. Now, essentially, when we take a look at the SSC recruitment scam, the alleged scam dates back to 2014. This is when the West Bengal School Service Commission issued a notification for the appointment of teachers in state-run schools in West Bengal. Now, there were many alleged irregularities in this scam, and this probe is being conducted. And now this is the latest angle that has emerged where Partha Chatterjee's relative is now being held, and he's also going to be questioned now. We're going to be getting you more details on this once we connect with a colleague. And this is the latest development that we have for you in the scam. Now, essentially, Partha's close aide and relative, Prasanna Roy, has been held. The CBI has suspected that Prasanna acted as a middleman for illegal recruitment in schools. A large number of assets owned by the suspect has been identified. He allegedly owns hotels and resorts in Digha, Puri, the Sundarbans, the Duars, and even in Dubai as well. Now, there are significant plots of land that are also allegedly owned by him in Newtown, Kolkata. Now, I'm crossing over to our correspondent, Shugata Roy, to get us more details on this. Shugata, tell us about what's happening with Prasanna Roy. What is the scene that we're going to be seeing today? What time is he going to be questioned now that he's been arrested?
Well, you see, Prasanna Roy's identity was unearthed by the investigating agency upon questioning of two of the suspects who were also earlier arrested in connection with the SSC recruitment scam case in Bengal. And that happens to be that of Pradeep Singh, who was a local businessman who the CBI suspected was being used by the connection and nexus, which was headed allegedly by Partha Chatterjee, the Trinamool Congress leader, who has now been arrested and jailed. Pradeep Singh, upon questioning of Pradeep Singh, the middleman, a businessman, the agency found out that an important cog in the wheel would be Prasanna Roy, who's also a relative of Partha Chatterjee. And several raids were made in some offices owned by both Pradeep Singh and Prasanna Roy by the agency in the last couple of days. And during those raids, some incriminating evidences were found based on which the CBI arrested Prasanna Roy yesterday. Upon that arrest, several staggering information has now come out in the public domain, which states that Roy is the owner of a significant number of real estate properties, hotels, resorts, not just in Kolkata or in its surroundings like Digha, Sundarbans, etc., but also in North Bengal, in Duars, and also overseas properties in Dubai. Also, the huge tracts of land are being apparently owned by Prasanna Roy, and those tracts of land are not just limited to Kolkata, but outside of the boundaries of Kolkata as well. The investigating agency, namely the CBI, suspects that a lot of the property that Roy owns is from the proceeds of the illegal recruitments in schools in the SSC scam. Roy, who has been arrested yesterday, will be produced in court today, and certainly CBI would seek his remand, CBI custody, and certainly the agency believes that it's like peeling off of the layers of onions, based on which the agency is trying to.
All right, Shukoto, I just want to pause you for a moment. We are joined by Dilip Ghosh from the BJP. Mr. Ghosh, thank you so much for joining us. Essentially, we have some breaking input on one aide and relative of Partha Chatterjee, who has now been arrested by the CBI, Prasanna Roy. Could you give us your first reaction to this latest development in the SSC scam, please?
देखिए, जिसको पकड़ा गया है वो बिजनेसमैन है। अब बिजनेस करते हैं लोग, बहुत लोगों के साथ संबंध रहता है। बाकी क्या है नहीं, वो तो जो इंक्वायरी आगे बढ़ेगा पता चलेगा। तो व्यवसायी के रूप में इसको जानते हैं सब लोग। एक चीज भी है, यहाँ हम जहाँ रहते हैं यहाँ आसपास के लोग रहते हैं, इसलिए उनको उठाया है, किसी ने उसका नाम बोला है, तो नेक्सस बहुत लंबा है। जिसका ऊपर शक है उसको उठा रहे हैं, जैसे उसके पूछताछ कर रही है। जैसे कि डिपार्टमेंट के बहुत सारा अफसर को बुलाया है। अब कौन इसका दोषी कौन नहीं है, लेकिन जिससे कुछ ना कुछ डॉक्यूमेंट और इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगा उसको तो जरूर पूछताछ करेगा। तो 40 को उठाया, आज कोर्ट में उसको हजीरा करेगा।
All right, Mr. Ghosh, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your first reaction. Now we have some more breaking news coming in right now.